Good afternoon. Today is Friday, July 12th. I'm Megan Barthels. Welcome to Guadalupe Valley Views. Eyes on the Gulf Coast as we watch Tropical Storm Barry, and meteorologist Bill Hecke is standing by to talk about the tropics. But first, we're on the line with Brother Gary T. Moses here on this week's edition of Guadalupe Valley Views. Gary, it's great to catch up with you once again.
Always good to be with you, Egan, and man, it's time flying by, and summer's going fast, isn't it?
It goes faster year after year after year, it seems like. We're going to be talking probably back to school. If you've been to the big department stores, they already have the notebooks and the backpacks and all the back-to-school stuff. You know, here we are. But, hey, let's not ruin your summer fun just quite yet, and let's not rush anything. You had a great 4th of July, I understand.
Well, Middle Light Blast Off again. Been doing it for over 40 years, the fireworks show, and Hartman's with us for, with me, closer to 40, a little bit like 37, 38 years I've been with them. It's just been a great time, the 4th of July, and having a lot of fun. Did a parade at HEB Plus. Again, we did some great 4th of July events honoring our country. How about you, sir?
Well,
I'm sure you were busy.
Made the rounds. There was a lot of them that we wanted to get to, but we couldn't. I wanted to mention that... Again, thanks to the good people at Gonzales Main Street for putting on another wonderful event. They had, remember them, Texas Unlimited Band and the big fireworks show.
Yes,
and
sir.
then they went on over to Shiner and helped with the Half Moon Holidays barbecue cook-off. They had a steak cook-off that Friday night and margaritas and the giblet rice. And Saturday was the ribs barbecue and, barbecued ribs, chicken, and brisket. And it was great to have the Shiner Chamber invite us over to help them. But that was just one of many. I know that in your neck of the woods, Seadrift celebrated, Port O'Connor celebrated. I mean, there was celebrations all over, and wherever you celebrated, well, we are glad you're back with us, and we've got a lot of other fun stuff planned for you on our calendar of events. Listen, this is the program that if you're looking for something to do, check it out right here. We've got a list for you, and I know that you've got a number of things coming up this weekend and the rest of the month, Gary.
I do. Egan, I want to mention this week. Of course, the Victoria Generals are still playing right now. They'll play through the first 2 weeks of August. We've got a great brand of college baseball at Riverside Stadium. I know tonight that the Hartmans are sponsoring this game. It's free ticket night, Hartman Distributing Company, and then we'll have some more games this next week. And like I say, through at the middle of August. So we've got that going on. And I want to mention one for Saturday morning. Tomorrow morning, again, we have this is a special event, scholarship fundraiser, Roth Construction, 5K run, shrimp boil, and entertainment by Scott Taylor. That's going to be at Patriot Park, which is the old, what they call Saxon Lake. You remember that area?
I do, yes. Okay. So they changed the name.
They have changed the name. We actually did, a Independence Day Veterans Appreciation event out there, and that was on July 4th. So we've used that place a few times under the new name, Patriot Park.
Wow, fantastic. So that's going on in the morning. You're getting in that 5K, they're going to eat you some shrimp, huh?
Yep, some shrimp and Scott, and it's a good time. We're giving money to their scholarship fund. Roth Construction is doing it for us down here. So I'll be working that one. There's just a lot of stuff going on. I'm looking at the weekend, tons of stuff. I was looking over here, some great music. Gene Watson at Schrader Hall Saturday night, tomorrow night.
Country legend. That? Yes, sir. That's fantastic.
Country legend. And you know where I was just the other day, which you have worked on this event, the Bluebonnet Youth Ranch Celebrity Golf Tournament Showdown.
Yeah.
We had the kickoff luncheon this past week, and we're going to be doing that again second weekend of October.
All right. That's all right. We've got to schedule that. That's second week in October. Let me check the calendar. That's going to be on October the I guess the showdown dance would be the 14th?
14th, that Monday,
okay.
Schrader Hall.
All right.
We're back at Schrader Hall. We were down there, saw Carlos, some of your friends, boys that you work with, still working with. In fact, they do a lot with Hartman and with me. And I know you work with them a lot, too. And we'll be doing that one, Egan. So just to let you know, that is coming up in October. And that's going to be a special event. How about you? You got anything this weekend that you're talking about?
Well, I'm sure that there's a number. I got to mention our friends up in Gillespie County. It's night in Old Fredericksburg. That's going on at the Gillespie County Fairgrounds this weekend. Well, they'll have they even have wiener dog races. They have the
love that.
The horse races up there. At Fredericksburg Downs, the Wiener Dog races, live music. I think Chris Reebok's going to be up there performing. Mo Bandy will be up there.
He's great. Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be fun. It's going on this weekend, Fredericksburg at the Gillespie County Fairgrounds right out there on Highway 16.
You can't beat that, buddy. I mean, that's great stuff right there. Mo Bandy's our co-chair for the Blue Bonnet Youth Ranch with Alan Shamblin. You know those names. Those are big country names.
Yes, sir.
Right there. So we got that going on. We're also, besides the Generals this summer, we have a new production at the Theater Victoria. Anytime your listeners want to come down, Theater Victoria hosts some great plays. We're doing Mamma Mia. That's starting the end of July 26th to the 28th and August 1st to the 4th at the Welder Center. So a great event, and you just know that they do a super job at our theater down here in Victoria. Welder Center, you've been there to that place before too, haven't you?
At the Welder Center, yes, we have.
Yes, sir. Got a lot of good stuff. We're still doing the Coors Light Street Dances, which we've worked several already. Got another one at the end of the month. I think the San Antonio Lights is coming in. That's at Rock Band.
Okay.
They'll be one of our street dances, Coors Street Dance. And we'll have some more in August also. I'm looking at the list. Buddy, there is so much stuff from market days. And actually, I want to give Goliad a plug. They've got me down for their parade this year in December, as always, their Christmas parade. But on Saturday, tomorrow, they have their Goliad Market Days. It's always the second Saturday of the month, and they have a great crowd and so many booths out there. It's one worth going to. Yeah, we have a farmer's market every Saturday also here in Victoria, Patty Dowson Public Health Center. We do that from 9 to 1. That is every Saturday of the year. That's one that goes on. And I'll tell you what, they've done really good with that. Farmer's market's big still. And I want to mention one early August. Port O'Connor has a lot of fishing tournaments. In fact, one a week, right?
Yeah.
They'll have the KC's fishing tournament, Port O'Connor, August 2nd and 3rd, and it benefits Nazareth Academy, the school. And we've been doing that one for years. What? Good food, good people, good fishing, good time.
All right, Gary. Thank you for your time. I always appreciate visiting with you here on the Guadalupe Valley Views.
Yes, sir. And, Egan, always a pleasure with you. You just take care of yourself, buddy. It's always great to hear from you and talk to you, buddy. You're terrific.
Thank you, Gary. You too, buddy. Gary T. Moses with us on this week's edition of Guadalupe Valley Views. Just for the record, I want this man here and you folks listening on the radio to be a witness that I don't only call him when I need something, but we do have a little activity out in the Gulf of Mexico, so might as well check in to Mr. Know-It-All, Bill Hecke, meteorologist. Bill, hey, buddy, it's good to check in with you this week on Guadalupe Valley Views.
Yes, sir. Hurricane Hecke here.
How you been, my friend?
Well, been doing good. I staying busy today. I've been basically drawing lines on maps. Every time the National Weather Service hurricane folks come out with a forecast, I have to go to my pen and paper and start drawing lines on maps to see what they're doing. And I can tell you what they're doing. Let me see. It's called UK Met, GFS, ECMWF. I know they've got about 14 more of them. Those are all computer models. And so I don't think they have time to analyze the atmosphere. Whether they're too busy looking at computer models.
Uh-huh.
So I end up working a little bit more. And at this moment, now what they're basing theirs on, I don't know if you pay too much attention to the forecast with this, but they're bringing it to the bottom of Louisiana and then pushing it north up through Louisiana and into Arkansas. So that keeps the bulk of the activity away from us.
Okay.
Okay, now, here's what I started looking at. Whenever I usually will analyze the atmosphere from the top down because man's at the bottom of the atmosphere. So I go upstairs and I look, and of course there's not a big jet stream influence for Texas in the summertime. So the jet stream doesn't play as big a part in this tropical activity. But what I noticed when I got to the 18,000-foot level of the atmosphere, which is one of my favorites, the closed low-pressure area is off the upper Texas coast. And there's another low-pressure area east of Yucatan, between Yucatan and Colombia. So that whole Gulf actually is an area of counterclockwise circulation, and I really can't find at that portion of the atmosphere a low-pressure area that coincides and corresponds to this tropical storm Barry. So I moved down, I analyzed the 10,000-foot atmosphere, and the only closed circulation I can find there is halfway between Louisiana and the Yucatan. And the top of that low-pressure area, the inverted trough, now that coincides with Barry. But the main circulation is not close enough to it to allow it to really tighten up and become a good, strong storm. So then I come down to 5,000 feet, and same thing. It's an inverted trough from the northwestern part of Yucatan right up to about Mobile, Alabama. So it looks to me like what they're dealing with is the northern portion of the storm system. And if that's the case, my thought process is we're going to see that storm system relocate. Right now it's kind of riding just south of the coastal areas and moving to the west very slow. But my thoughts are that it might relocate a little bit further to the west, become slightly more organized, actually relocate west and southwest. That then would put the upper and middle Texas coast into play. So it still has a ways to go. It's still running pretty slow. The latest I have, and this is from the hurricane people, is that the sustained winds are 40 miles an hour, so it's still a minimal tropical storm. Central pressure has dropped from 1009 millibars down to 1003 millibars, and the movement is west at 5 miles per hour, so that's a very slow movement. Now, I can tell you what the hurricane people are looking at. Their forecast model has the ridge of high pressure. Now, we're under a dome of high pressure right now. We're kind of on the west, it's on the west side of it, but we're under the dome. Their thought process, based on computer models, is that dome of high pressure will be shifted to the east a bit. And when it does, then the trough of low pressure is going to be up through Louisiana and Arkansas, and this storm will follow that path of least resistance pressure-wise. So hope everybody's with me on that, but that, I think, is more of a stretch than my thought process of it repositioning center-wise and aiming more at the upper and then middle Texas coast. So we still have to wait and see at least one more day, and then I think they'll have a better handle on it, and I will get to see another set of maps that I've drawn lines on. The data I use only comes in twice a day. It's based on the old Greenwich Mean Time, universal coordinated time or whatever, but they're 12 hours apart. The balloons go up now at 7 in the morning and 7 in the evening. So I'll get fresh data between 8 and 9 tonight. And the most important data will be that it comes in between 8 and 9 tomorrow morning. So right now, that's kind of what I'm thinking, Hagen.
So what you're saying is if people are getting weather from either their telephone or the television news source, and it's all based on the Weather Service stuff, and a lot of the folks are looking at those models saying, hey, it's going to go up into Louisiana, and you're looking at this differently, and so let me just say here, we shouldn't sleep on this quite yet and assume that it's going to go up into Louisiana, because it could still have the potential of going, even affecting this area of Texas.
Exactly, because my thought process is if that low, the actual closed low, is more toward the upper Texas coast, and this is at 18,000 feet up, that secondary low, which is between Cuba and Yucatan, that whole thing could pivot back to the left a little bit. If we were to put a low pressure area in, say about anywhere from Galveston down to Corpus, it would pump a ton of moisture in over us, and we would actually be getting troughs of low pressure and bands of heavy downpours. And so while right now I wouldn't jump on that as a possibility, but I'm with them looking at so many models, I wouldn't jump on their forecast either.
Understood, sir. Yeah. What do you We finally made it. It seems like, and again, I've said before when we were talking before the program,